Well, guys, a few months ago, I actually thought financial stability it's all about having a lot of money. But well, honestly, that is not the case, guys. I have realized it is all about discipline habits and rebuilding yourself slowly. And in this video, I want us to discuss on those habits that I'm personally using to try and make and become financially stable. Okay, guys? So, guys, welcome to Finance with Mimo, your relatable finance girl. Okay, guys? So, I have realized, and honestly, I've realized like financial stability does not happen overnight. Actually, it doesn't happen overnight. It requires time, it requires discipline, and a lot of self-awareness. Actually, guys, with discipline and self-awareness, that one, and just accepting how things are, you're going to get to that point of financial stability. Okay, guys? And then one of the points that I want us to discuss is accepting reality. By the way, guys, it's the high time we all accept how things are. So if you see me doing like this, there's a wasp. Oh my god, and I fear that. Sorry for that distraction. Let's go back to the actual business. So I'm trying to say we all need to accept the reality. You know what I mean? We need to accept what is happening beyond that curtain. Ni nini inaendelea huko nyuma? Like, you don't have to use money unrealistically just for you uonekane. You know what I mean, guys, right? So one of the things I've learned is I need to spend money with a lot of planning. Okay, and whenever you plan your money well, you definitely see the financial progress, you know. And I really think growth really takes time, and when you stop pretending everything is okay, everything works well for everyone. But if you stop pretending like everything is okay and just be you, be yourself, live your life, trust me, you things will really work well for you. And accepting reality is not being negative. it was it is not being negative. It was about deciding what you wanted to better yourself. You know, guys, like the moment you accept the reality, one, that is not negativity, or it's not even something negative, it's just wanting the better, to make yourself better. Because most people, they don't want to accept reality, they want to keep on pretending like things are okay. But if you just accept how things are, imagine if you accept how things are, things will be easy on you, you know. Because if you're pretending out there, like in most cases you'll see on social media, people are trying to showcase very high-end lifestyles. But if you just come to reality, you'll find this. Even we've seen some of our Kenyan celebrities, sorry to say, like you would see someone has been living large on social media, but imagine whenever they get sick, sorry to say this, but whenever they get sick, you always see them coming out to ask for appeal, to ask people to help them out. And this is when they would later realize like they were supposed to live within their means, and just to stop pretending like things are okay. You don't have to pretend like things are okay. Okay, yeah, you just need to accept the reality and move on, because the moment you accept how things are, you have to accept, I have 100 bob, it's 100 bob and not 1,000 bob, and live within your means. That is what I mean. Actually, that is what I mean. The second thing that I'm learning is that budgeting better. You know what I mean? I actually thought budgeting was more restrictive, but I've come to realize once you budget whatever you have, unapata more control of your money. You know what I mean? Because the moment you sit down, right, if for instance you have 1,000 bob, I think I love using 1,000 bob, but I think that is the biggest note we have in our country, but it's fine. If you have 1,000 bob, if you just sit down and budget, like one, I need to sort some electricity bills and a bill, and maybe spend 200 shillings, then you'd be left with 800. With the 800, I need to buy grocery, maybe nyanya, kitunguu, the basics, whatever you need. At the end of the day, you eat nyanyas and kitunguu, and then you can buy for another 200 bob to take you through a week. You are left with how much? 600. With the 600, you can just decide, I will buy potatoes and cereals that can take me. Also, you buy maybe worth 400. Those ones are a bit expensive. 400. And then from our 600, you are left with 200. This 200, you can say, I will have this 200 for airtime, for me, to make it easier for me to have those communications with family, friends, and people around me, or even at work. Once you budget that 1,000 bob, you will get yourself moving to the next step. You will have a relief for that 1 week. But if you just have your 1,000 bob and you're not even budgeting for it, you're not sitting down and writing what you need, you will end up like, you will be with your friends maybe from work, and then they will tell you, oh, nasikia kukula pizza, si tuchangane. And then you'll be like, maybe pizza it's 900 or 1,200. Mwambiane, maybe will be 2 of you. Mwambiane, si utoe 600 nitoe 600. What happens? You will eventually end up spending that money. And by the way, let me tell you something. I started tracking how personally nilikuwa natumia do. Yani venye nimekuwa nikitumia pesa, na nimekuja kugundua like nimekuwa na so many unnecessary spending. Na sahi, if you ask me, I'm very intentional with what I do with my money, because that unnecessary spending can lead you to a ditch. Guys, itakupeleka kwa hiyo shimo, let me tell you. And I'm not lying. But if you don't just budget for what you have, things are not going to be okay with you. And because sometimes we don't even realize how small daily spending can be, it will, if you cannot track this daily spending, by the way, easy to 50 to 100, unaona, to 50 to 100, 200, 500, 1,000 bob in the wrong land, pale mbele utakuja kunotice venye hiyo kitu inaku affect financially. Personally, I'm learning on how to perfect on budgeting, and so guys, you can join me in this journey. By the way, join me tuone venye kutakuwa pale mbele. Yani you have to spend hiyo pesa venye inafaa. Yani as I said yesterday in our previous video, you guys, you watched, every coin counts. Hiyo 10, hiyo 5 bob, hiyo 10 bob, hiyo 20 bob, hiyo 50 bob, kila coin ina count. Na by the way, ukireflect venye maybe hata ukipatanga salary, what happens? Unajua unapatanga hiyo lump sum hivi at once. Unaanza unachuna, ukichuna 50, ama uchune 500, haitabaki vetu. Assuming like you earn 10,000, salary of 10,000, umechukua 500, umesema let me treat myself, nimefanya kazi mwezi mzima, 500 umeng'oa, si ndio? Umebaki na 9,500. Before hata you realize, you remember nilikuwa na deni ya so and so, na ndio in case ukwame hii mwezi ingine, unasema wacha kwanza ni sort ule before I do ABCD. You know, hata hii pesa umeipata, hujabudgetia, ushaanza kuspend. Hata you might eventually find yourself not even having something to feed your stomach hiyo mwezi. So guys, I think we need all tujue venye tunaweza learn how to budget. And budgeting, I mean budgeting better. To budget vizuri bila haraka, and it's going to help us. Sawa sawa guys. Haya. Point number 3, it's building discipline. You know, building discipline, it does not necessarily mean like in financial growth. Discipline is all about wewe mwenyewe, ile discipline wewe mwenyewe umejipea. You know, by the way, you can be saying wacha niamke mapema. By the way, wacha ukiamka tu mapema, your day starts very well. I think one thing I've come to realize ni ati kuamka mapema ndio kila kitu. By the way, ndio kila kitu. Hiyo ndio mlango, the gate ya hiyo siku. Ukishaamka hivi, asi ati uamke uanze ku scroll your phone and stuff. Just wake up. If you pray, drink water. After drinking water, maybe you can sema you exercise kidogo, and then after the exercise you can have breakfast if you want to have breakfast. And then now plan with what you had planned the previous night. Now start, you know, start with whatever you had planned the previous night, you know, and manage that time well, especially morning hours. If you manage your morning hours very well and be disciplined and consistent, and or even create a routine. Kuwa na routine. Unajua kesho nikiamka, naamka nitengeneze kitanda, nifungue curtains, fresh air to circulate within your room, shower, do exercise, shower, do what you have to do, your routine. You know, I really don't know what your routine is, but hiyo routine yako kuwa consistent nayo. Na by the way, hiyo discipline ya hizo vitu zenye unafanyanga hazitakusaidia tu financially, mentally. You know, everything is mental. By the way, if you're not mentally stable, trust me, things are not going to work. You need to be mentally stable, and especially when it comes to mental, it might be pole pole. Hiyo unaweza kosa kuona hiyo change sahi, but after a span of 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 1 year, that is when you'll get to see, oh, so me waking up early, doing my routine, and be consistent with what you do, your routine. By the way, that is when you will get to see that change. Guys, I'm not lying to you. Trust me, if you're disciplined with whatever you do, build that discipline to hiyo routine yako ya asubuhi, itakuwa imekusaidia sana. Okay? And the other thing, the 4th thing is learn a new skill. In between hapo kwa hizo routine yako, make sure you have a schedule to learn a new skill. Make sure, like right now, there are so many things that you can do. Kuna AI, unaweza jitrain AI, unaweza ingia kwa YouTube, learn so many things about even content creation. You know, there are so many things, personal growth, even I name them. Vitu ni mingi sana za kufanya huko hivyo kwa hiyo space. Hiyo, make sure you learn a skill. Hata hii skill hata kama haitakuwa leo, yani hautaona impact yake leo ama kesho, but trust me, after some few months you will see that eventually utaona. And by the way, one thing that you need to know, investing in yourself, that is actually the best of the best things that you can do to yourself. And of course, learning a new skill, definitely you're investing on yourself. It's not necessarily what you went to school to learn. That is not your career. It's just a skill. It's a topping. Unaona venye wanatopping nini, kama venye how they top, what do we call them? Sinaona kama venye Salt Bay anafanyanga hivyo, you know, ama who else would we say how we top our pizza with toppings, different whatever we want ingredients. That is how you're also topping a plus to yourself, you know. Yeah. And then the other point, the fifth point, it's rebuilding slowly. One thing I want people to understand is that rebuilding financially takes time. You know, it takes time. You cannot just sleep and wake up overnight. Oh, I have already rebuilt myself, niko financially stable. No. You have to figure life out. Ni lazima ufigure life out. And you are not alone. Watu wengi sana hapa nje wana figure vitu out quietly. You don't have to show off ati this is what I'm doing. No. You don't have to show off. Just do it quietly. Rebuild yourself. Hata mimi I'm doing that, but I don't have to come and say, oh, nataka, you know. No. You ufanye tu all by yourself. Hapo nyuma ya tent. Fanya, let us see results. Let results speak for you. Even if I think results ndizo zinafaa kuongea for you. And I will try tu sana. Kwa hii kujirebuild, usisahau na our point number 3. Ile ya building discipline. When you're rebuilding yourself, discipline inafaa kuwa hand in hand. Yani inafaa kutembea na wewe. Aste kwa hivi unafaa kutembea na discipline, as inafaa kuendanisha hivi, discipline na kurebuild, you know what I mean, okay? And with that, you will be somewhere by the end of the year. You know what I mean. You need to know growth takes time, financial stability takes time, and small progress is what matters. Utaki progress shwa. We si aviator, jamani. We si aviator. We si nikapaka 100 ama nipaka 10. We si hizo. You are a human being, and financial stability ita take time. Growth ita take time, but hizo small progress ndizo zina matter. Whatever you're doing, hizo small progresses ndizo zina matter. That is one thing that we need to know. Okay guys, and I hope, by the way, I just hope mtu hapo amekuwa encouraged na hii video ya leo. And if you're also on a journey of improving your habits and rebuilding yourself, your financial growth, just tell me in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section and let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and let's connect and grow financially. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching this video, and let me see you in the next video. Meanwhile, be blessed and baraka. Bye.